this history of persecution and resistance of my ancestors in Europe over the ages and their bravery in standing up against fascism. Why I, as a Jewish person, am so proud to march week after week with the Jewish bloc on the Palestine demos, shouting loud and clear, "Not in our name," and Palestinian lives matter. Friends, but we live in very dangerous times, and this week we saw that genocidal monster Benjamin Netanyahu get repeated standing ovations in the US Congress. I was also so proud to see hundreds of Jewish Americans taking direct action, protesting this atrocity and occupying Congress. Netanyahu, the war criminal, weaponizes anti-Semitism, falsely stating that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism and conflating all Jews with the Israeli state, which only serves to endanger Jewish communities and make Jewish people less safe. And it's not surprising that Tommy Robinson and his band of fascist thugs wrap themselves in the Israeli flag when the Israeli government is harbouring self-confessed fascists in its cabinet. Yeah. But friends, the fascist Israeli government is worried. Fascists in the UK are worried. Israel has essentially lost the war in Gaza, and Netanyahu has now pushed towards being a pariah rogue state. Because they know the resilience of Palestinians is unbreakable, and the movement to stand up for Palestinian rights is the cause of our age. And we will not rest until Netanyahu and every single politician that funded and enabled this genocide here in the UK and elsewhere is brought to justice. We will not rest until Tommy Robinson and his fascists are driven from our streets, and we will not rest until Palestine is free. Free Palestine!
Thank you so much, Martin. Now I'm really honoured to invite our next speaker up to the stage. Is someone who you've been speaking a lot on massive demonstrations across London. But big welcome to Ben Jamal from the Palestine Solidarity Campaign.
Thank you. Friends, we stand here today because we are united by a set of values which are an affront to Tommy Robinson and his thugs, a belief in the rights which are owed to everyone, regardless of race, religion, ethnicity or nationality. We stand opposed to ideologies that believe that some people, because of the colour of their skin, because of the faith to which they subscribe, to which, because of the nation to which they belong, have privileged rights, including the right to treat those who do not share those characteristics as underlings and a second class. And friends, I stand here as the director of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign and as a Palestinian to assert this fundamental truth, that there is no coherent struggle against racism. There is no meaningful campaign against the supremacist ideologies of the far right that does not have support for the Palestinian struggle against racist oppression at its heart and centre. As we heard, there is a reason why Tommy Robinson and his thugs today, as they march, will wrap themselves in the flag of Israel. There is a reason why Maloney and Le Pen and Orban and all of the far-right parties on the rise in Europe see Israel as a lone star, a model of the ethno-nationalist supremacist states they wish to see established. There is a reason why white supremacists in the US, like Richard Spencer, call themselves white Zionists, because they understand Zionism as the ideology that justifies an ethno-nationalist state that asserts that in all of the land between the river and the sea, one people, Jewish Israelis, have rights, and another, the Palestinians, have no rights at all. So let us today, in one voice, say clearly, no to Robinson and Farage and Netanyahu and their politics of hatred. No to Israel's system of apartheid and genocide and violence. Yes to freedom. Yes to justice. Yes to equality. And yes, yes, yes to a free Palestine.
Our next speaker is Amin Malde from FPU Black Members Committee Chair. Give more welcome to Amin.
Good afternoon, all. It's really good to see you all out here because this is not just another far-right protest. This feels like the start of a new chapter. We've had, they're so visible, these currently. You've got the likes of parliamentarians like Richard Tice, Farage, Jacob Rees-Mogg on TV News, which is a billionaire-funded foreign non-commercial venture. It's basically propaganda being piped into our TVs and computers. And things like Twitter now, which has become a right-wing echo chamber. The right has become so visible and so golden. Actually, at the election recently, we saw when they're quantified, there's not many of them. So we need to stand up and we need to show them that there's more of us than there are of them. And it's also quite funny that today they're coming out under the guise of two-tier policing for journalism. And all the time that we've raised legitimate historic issues of police brutality and injustice, they dismiss that. But now suddenly, a guy with a video camera calls himself a journalist, gets nicked, and starts a whole campaign on two-tier policing. But really, we know that that's not the reason they're out here. So thank you all for coming out, standing up against the far right, against their racist rhetoric, and ensuring that they're not going unchecked.
Thank you so much. Okay, I just want to say before I bring on board our last speaker, after the speeches, we're obviously going to march. That's why we're here. But we're going to march that way. We're going to march downward one place. So after this, everyone needs to move forward because we're going to pack up this stage so we can get to the end. So we can make some noise to drown out those masses when we get there, all right? As soon as Tommy finishes speaking, everyone is moving down. I'm going to introduce ourselves. This is a kind of leader of Santa racism, Sammy Darling.
Thank you so much, Samira. Thank you to all of you for making the effort to join this very important Unite Against Tommy Robinson event, because this event comes just 3 weeks after the far right made the biggest electoral breakthrough in British history at the general election with 5 MPs, 4 million votes across the country, and the third largest share of the vote. And it was Tommy Robinson supporters who were cheering on Reform UK, urging people to vote for them. And Reform UK candidates were promoting Tommy Robinson on social media, and their leader, Nigel Farage, supported them. They didn't distance themselves and didn't make sure that Reform UK candidates were actually condemning Tommy Robinson and showing some shame for that sort of behaviour. They let it go. They said it was okay. So this illustrates the scale of the movement that we have to mobilise, because racists in Parliament are leading to racists to mobilise in their thousands today on the streets. So this shows us the scale of the movement that we need to build to beat this movement back. And let's not forget that it was Tory Suella Braverman, when she was Home Secretary, that galvanised and emboldened this latest Tommy Robinson movement with her racist rhetoric of Islamist threats and calling asylum seekers that are trying to seek asylum in Britain because they're fleeing war and persecution, describing them shamefully as an invasion. It's that racist rhetoric that has led to this most recent Tommy Robinson movement that is now mobilising thousands on the streets. So just like Enoch Powell and his rivers of blood racism built the National Front decades ago, now today Nigel Farage, Suella Braverman and racist Tories are building fascist and Tommy Robinson today. We must beat back this movement. We've beaten back fascists before, we'll do it again. And we know how to do it. Here's how. Number one, we must unite the broadest alliance against fascism and racism. That means uniting trade unions, synagogues, mosques, other faith communities up and down the country. We need to build a movement with politicians on the left and in the centre. If we're going to beat back fascism, we need to unite, put differences aside, and build a movement against them. Secondly, we need to challenge the racism and Islamophobia and anti-Semitism and the inflammatory rhetoric towards immigrants and asylum seekers. And we cannot tolerate concessions to this sort of racism that will allow fascists to grow. And finally, we must do what we're doing today, but we've got to go back to our trade unions, go back to our workplaces, go back to our faith communities, and make sure we mobilise a bigger demonstration next time. We've got to mobilise against fascism. We can't allow fascists and racists to take our streets. So, thank you so much for joining us today. Build a bigger and better movement. Solidarity, no Passaran! No marching, no Passaran! No Passaran! No Passaran! No Passaran! No Passaran!
Stand up. Yeah.
will never be defeated. People united will never be defeated. People united will never be defeated. We don't get no justice, and they don't get no peace. We don't get no justice, and they don't get no peace. We don't get no justice, and they don't get no peace. We don't get no justice, and they don't get no peace. We don't get no justice, and they don't get no peace. We don't get no justice, and they don't get no peace. We don't get no justice, and they don't get no peace. We don't get no justice, and they don't get no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, racism.